Hey, what's good everybody? It's cjbeatz. We're back at it again today. Today I'm going to show you guys a brand new sample pack I just put out called German Connection right after this. Appreciate you tuning in, so let's get into it. The sample pack that I just put out sports 5 samples that are at least 16 bars in length, containing multiple instruments. What's different about this sample pack is that I'm actually including all the stems. That means you get all the instrumentation tracked out. In addition to that, I provided you guys with all the Midi that I created when I came up with these samples. So first things first, let's go ahead and listen to these 5 samples, and then I'm going to show you some techniques and how you could flip them in Logic Pro X. Okay, here goes sample number 1. This is in E minor and 145 BPM. Fire, next one. Sample 2, C minor, 127 BPM. And I'm using all like analog based synths for these, you know. Fucking majestic right there. All right, sample number 3, F minor, 148 BPM. And then sample number 4, this is probably my favorite one. This is an E minor, 120 BPM. Hey. And last but not least, sample number 5, E minor, 154 BPM. I'm not going to let that one play all the way through, but you get the point. All right, so I'm going to delete some of these here. I'm going to stick with sample number 4. That's definitely my favorite out of the pack. And I'm going to show you some ways that you could, you know, change or flip up the sample. First things first, let's change this to 120 BPM. I'm going to stick with, you know, making sure that I'm only using things that you have in Logic to flip the sample. So we could approach it in many different ways. The way I usually, you know, approach my samples is that I chop them up first into equal segments and then start manipulating those segments further. So it's a 16 bar, as I see here, 16 bar loop. And what I like to do right off the bat is just chop it right down the middle so that I have 2 equal 8 bar lengths, just like that. Now I could chop this first portion up, and I'm going to try and see, you know, where I'm going to place these chops. Would it be half a loop or half a bar, a 1 bar? We'll see. I think I'm even going to think about here doing quarter bars. What I'm going to do is hold down my command button since I have the scissor tool selected, and then hit Alt and then it's going to make equal chops just like that. One of my subscribers actually told me about that technique, so forget who it was. I'm going to find you, and I'll shout you out. So, you know, so now we can try and approach this by like maybe reversing items. So that's a really neat thing that you could do in Logic. I'm going to go ahead and double click on this to bring up that track. And then I'm going to select File. And now I can, like, you know, select individual parts like this and actually reverse them. That sounds crazy already. So let me do that really quick. Reason I have to do this one by one is because my Mac keyboard actually broke, and I have to get a new one. But the keyboard I'm using right now actually doesn't work if I'm going to use the hotkey. I could use the hotkey that I have set up here. As you can see right now, the hotkey is set up to this. Okay, so now that they're all reversed, what I would like to do is make sure that there's a little bit of a fade. Actually, I'm going to play the sample back so you could hear what I mean. I'm going to need these fades because it's going to sound a little bit choppy around the chopped areas. Crazy. All right. Now, if I were to maybe, you know, like layer this even, let's go ahead and add another audio track. I'm just going to bring this underneath. And over here, I'm just going to cut out maybe the top end. But, you know, we still need to go ahead and fade these in and out. So select your fade tool on your command button and then fade them in and out just like this and that. Make sure that fade out and fade in is selected just like that. Maybe cut the low end off of this. All right, so now that we have this, let's go ahead and bounce all of these in place. So you're going to look for bounce in place. You highlight them all like this, bounce in place. Keep all the defaults, hit OK. Okay, now we have basically these two combined in this right here. So I'm going to mute these guys right now. And now we have something already brand new, you know what I mean? So from here, you can even go crazier. You could possibly, from here, you can go even crazier. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can maybe add a pedal board to this. This is all in Logic. And I'm going to just pick a random one here. Let's see what this one's all about. So that's like a fuzz. Try and see what else there is here. 2-burner. And Dr. Octave. Just going to try to find something that, you know, maybe a phaser we could add here. Oof. That sounds tough right there. And then a flanger on top of that. Why not? Oof. Now we could try and, I don't know, reverse this whole thing. Let's do that. Let's bounce this in place. So we have one of those, and we can go ahead and reverse this one back. So So we got 2 parts now. That would be dope for an intro maybe, so we could shorten it. And now, maybe drop an EQ on that. Go to our automation, make sure our high cut frequency is turned on. And in automation, if you hit A on the keyboard, you can go to that EQ now. Choose the high cut frequency. And, you know, for your intro or your transitions or whatever, it could be something like this. Hey. And then from here, it could go into a normal part, but maybe we could go ahead and reverse all these back now. Sounds dope with the pedal board on there. So I hope you guys enjoyed these techniques in Logic Pro X to flip samples. If you haven't already, go and download that free sample pack, German Connection. I'll put a link in the cards right here. Thanks again for taking the time out to watch this video. My name is CJ, and I'm out for now. Peace.